Welcome back to Analista de la Liga with me, Terry Gibson. I'm going to have a look this weekend at the preview for the last round of fixtures before the festive break. Been a busy week of action as well with the Copa del Rey tournament, and the big hitters got through. Some were a bit close, too close for comfort, but the big hitters got through in Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. Villarreal went out, which was a surprise. They face Barcelona this week, so we got top versus third. Going to break it up into two parts. Going to look at the race for the top four. As I said, we've got a big clash this weekend with Villarreal facing Barcelona. But I'm going to start with one of the classic La Liga fixtures on Saturday evening. Thankfully, unfortunately, as always grateful. I'm on co-coms for this one out in Madrid. So we're looking at the first game of the weekend between the big hitters is Real Madrid against Sevilla. Now, this is a classic La Liga fixture over the last 20-25 years. Unfortunately for Sevilla, they don't fall into that category of being a very, very good team at the moment. So they are suffering. Got a good win last week against Oviedo 4-0. But is that sufficient preparation to face Real Madrid at the Bernabeu? Probably not, if I'm being honest. Now, Real Madrid go into this game in reasonable form. They got the job done in midweek against Talavera. Third-tier opposition. It looked as if it was going to be a comfortable win at 3-1. They conceded late on to make it 3-2 in their favour, and Andre Lunin had to make a fabulous save in the last minute to stop Talavera taking Real Madrid into extra time. A couple of young players got their debuts. There are still significant problems for Xabi Alonso in terms of team selection. Brahim Diaz is the latest absentee now. He's going away with Morocco in African Nations Cup duty. There is still no Trent Alexander-Arnold, no Dani Carvajal, no Ferland Mendy, no Eder Militao. Fran Garcia returns from suspension, so that's a boost for Xabi Alonso. But Alvaro Carreras and Hendrick are both suspended. So you can see the problems he's got. It's still going to be a formidable lineup for Real Madrid, of course, but the strength in depth on the bench might be lacking. I still think they have enough to deal with Sevilla. Sevilla got a good win last week, 4-0 against Oviedo, but it's a different matter playing away from home against Real Madrid. Sevilla have injury issues and absentees as well with the African Cup of Nations. Chidera Ejuke is away. Has been subbed most of the time lately, but has an impact when he comes on. Did really well last week. Akor Adams, who's been playing up front, gets a goal or two. He's not prolific by any means. He's away in African Nations Cup duty. The good news for Sevilla is Isaac Romero returns from suspension, so Akor Adams missing, obvious replacement with Isaac Romero. Coming back in, still no Ruben Vargas, no Espiricueta, no Nianzou, no Januzaj. So it's a big ask for Sevilla to go to the Bernabeu to take the points. I think this will be a comfortable victory for Real Madrid, I really do. It's the Saturday late game, Saturday night, and I think it's Xabi Alonso, despite being under immense pressure. We had a list of games when he had to win, and of course the Alaves away was a tough one, but they got the job done. They got the job done in the Copa del Rey. They play Sevilla on Saturday evening, and then of course after the break we have the Super Cup. So the pressure doesn't stop from any manager of Real Madrid, but the results are coming along nicely. As I say, it's a tough little period with the amount of players missing through injury. A couple of young players got their debuts in midweek in the cup match. But I think we're going to see a strong, experienced lineup from Real Madrid. Still be full of fantastic names. As I say, the strength in depth on the bench might be lacking. But I still think they have enough to overcome Sevilla comfortably. On Sunday, we go into Girona against Atletico Madrid. Atletico have to get 3 points in this. Great win last week for Girona. Winning away from home at Real Sociedad. Real big surprise, that win, actually. And they were 1-0 down and not playing well. And then suddenly Real Sociedad threw the towel in. Complacency set in. To the extent the second half performance where Girona played well, got the 2 goals from Sigankov, 1-2-1, but is the extent of the damage done by that second half performance of Real Sociedad led to the manager losing his job. So Sergio Francisco is out, and Girona will be really grateful for the points. Michel will be grateful. A long injury list, and now the added problem of Azzedine Ounahi, who's probably been their best player this season. He's away in African Nations Cup duty with Morocco. He's going to be a huge miss. So going into this game against Atletico, who bounced back after a couple of defeats, back-to-back defeats in the league with the win against Valencia. Sneaked through in the Copa del Rey against Atletico Baleares, 3-2. Griezmann getting a couple of goals, so he got a goal last week against Valencia, got the winning goal. Well, they made hard work of beating Valencia last week. but it was an improved performance from Valencia. I see Atletico winning this one. The big issue for me is who's going to play up front. Griezmann's amongst the goals. Soloth and Julian Alvarez probably will start this game, and Griezmann continuing to do what he does. He's done really well this season, come off the bench and have a massive impact, like so many other players. Marcos Llorente returns from injury, so that's good news for Simeone. Probably will play in the right back position. Goals conceded, 16 in 17 games. 2 goals against a really low tier team in the Copa del Rey. Keeping clean sheets is an issue. Conceding too many goals, Atletico Madrid. Part of me kind of misses the old Atletico Madrid, where they're really difficult to score against. Do they blow teams away? No. Last week was a classic Atletico performance against the poor Valencia team. They struggled to put them away. They still conceded chances. It's getting the balance right for Simeone. Yes, they're better going forward, I think. Slightly better in going forward. But you've always got a chance against Atletico in scoring a goal. We haven't become accustomed to saying that for a long, long time. So improvement needed from Atletico Madrid in defence. As I say, Girona, they've got 1 or 2 players that can hurt them. Thomas Lemar, Axel Witsel will be. I presume they're okay to play in this game against Atletico Madrid. Certainly Witsel has, because he's left the club. Thomas Lemar is on loan. You've got the likes of Brian Hill, who's playing really well. Sigankov's got 2 goals last week. Vladislav Vlanat is a fantastic centre forward. They've got players that can hurt Atletico, but I do see Atletico succeeding in this game. Do they concede a goal? I'm going to go for Atletico to keep a clean sheet in this one. I don't think they're going to blow Girona away. 1 or 2-0 victory for Atletico Madrid. And then we're going to the big game on Sunday afternoon. So straight after the Girona Atletico game, there is this game. It's Villarreal against Barcelona. Villarreal been hit by the players departing for the African Nations Cup. Pape Gueye has gone, Nicolas Pepe has gone, Ilias Akamatch has gone as well. So 3 players missing there. Gerard Moreno is injured as well. Barcelona are top with 43 points at the moment, 4 points above Real Madrid. But Villarreal tucked away nicely in 3rd. Catastrophic loss in the midweek in the Copa del Rey. They're pretty much out of the Champions League. So it's just going to be the league to focus on. Now, Villarreal, they're an interesting team. They've been really poor in the cup competitions this season. Dreadful. Fantastic squad. I keep saying they're not in the title race, but with just the league to focus on now for the rest of the season, they've got a really good squad in terms of strength in depth. Now they can just focus on La Liga. They've only lost 2 games in La Liga all season, Atletico Madrid away and Real Madrid away. So they're a genuine threat. Now going into this game against Barcelona, astonished to see that Barcelona won here but 5-1 last season. Villarreal won 3-2 at the Montjuic. But their last home win for Villarreal against Barcelona was a 3-1 victory back in 2007. Santi Cazorla scored a goal. Marcos Senna got a couple of goals. So that tells you how long ago we're talking about. Incredible that Santi Cazorla is still involved in La Liga action. So I think that the fact that Villarreal have lost so often against Barcelona in this stadium, we're expecting a tough game. It's always high scoring. I believe this one will be. I think Villarreal will attack Barcelona. Barcelona will play their usual game. Is it going to take 3 goals for Villarreal to get something from this match? I'm going to go with that. I think it will. I think it's going to be goals for Barcelona. 5-1 victory last season. It's not going to be repeated this season. It's going to be a closer affair. I'm going to go for a 3-2 victory for Barcelona away from home. It's astonishing to think that we get so many goals in this game. As I say, are Villarreal a team that just come up short when they play against Atletico Madrid, when they play against Real Madrid, when they play against Barcelona? They've lost against the 2. Now can they get something from the Barcelona game? They can, of course. They're playing well. They're good. But I'm just going to go for the Barcelona victory in this one. So, Barcelona victory, Atletico victory, Real Madrid victory. So, keep things nice and tight at the top. But what do I know? Anyway, thanks for joining me on this one. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll just do another post pretty soon, looking at the rest of the weekend's action, and join me for that too.